Hey everyone, CPM here. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Today I am going to go through the fourth advanced product notice from the Royal Canadian Mint. For those of you that doesn't know, Royal Canadian Mint release their new product coin sets usually at the beginning of each month. Because I have access to their Masters Club membership, what that kind of gives me is the ability to at least preview or even purchase in advance on some of these coin sets before it gets released to the general public. So I want to share that with you, and if you enjoy contents like this and want to continue to follow along, please consider subscribing to my channel. You'll get videos like this at least once a month, so you can keep up to date on the new releases from Royal Canadian Mint. While you're there, please consider giving a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. That gives the opportunity for my video to be surfaced to the rest of the YouTube community. So if you have done that already, I sincerely appreciate it. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So for today, we're just around the corner for April. By the time you see this video, it's probably the 1st of April. For 1st of April, there are 8 new products that are coming out from the Royal Canadian Mint. The first 2 products are their 50 cents special edition wrap. I think it comes in 25 in each of these wrap. This year is the 100th year anniversary for the Canada Coat of Arms. So let's take a quick peek at this coin. So for the 50 cent limited edition coin, it's not made of silver or gold. These came in the typical composition of nickel plated steel. This coin in particular takes the same design from the 50 cent coin issued in 1937. And then it looks something like this. So I think the only difference here is instead of 1937, it has the year 2021 to kind of mark for the year 2021, obviously. The coin wrap itself, I think if you have seen coin wraps from the Royal Canadian Mint, it's the same design. I don't think it has anything too different. This time around, they have the Canada Coat of Arms symbol that's printed on it as well. On the over side of the coin, I think we have King George VI on it. So nothing too special here. Let's go back to the previous page, and then the other one is the still also the Canada Coat of Arms. This time around is the standard design from the 50 cent. If you have one of these 50 cent special coins from last couple of years, the design is the same, just that we have the Canada Coat of Arms in the symbol and right in the middle, and then for the year 2021. On the overside, instead of King George himself, we have the Queen Elizabeth II as the effigy on that side. Let's head back. Let's take a look at the third coin. I think this one was one that really caught my eye. Sad news here is I couldn't get my hands on this, and by the time I was notified, I didn't get the chance to click on the email early enough. So by the time I noticed this, I came in here, it was already sold out. This is an interesting coin. It's not an optical illusion. The coin itself is actually there's 2 layers to it. There's the foreground for the Cougar, and there's an actual wilderness as the background for the Cougar. So if I just zoom in here slowly, you can kind of see there is 2 layers. The Cougar is the cutout, and then you can kind of see that there's a gap between the cutout and the background, which makes it really interesting perspective to look at this coin. The Cougar itself really makes it's popping out. Let's take a look at from a different angle. I don't know if that really does itself justice. You can see that there is an outer rim, and it's somewhat kind of line up with the background design. There's a lot of details in this. It's the least to say. You can see the fur on the Cougar. Almost feel like the Cougar is popping out from the design itself. The description of the coin says that in year 2020 was the first year that they went sort of above and beyond getting the coin to have this 3D look to it. I couldn't really find the other coin that was in the series. It's part of the R&D lab collection. Again, I couldn't find it, but I think the closest one I could find that's related to what that is. Let me flip to the other tab so that I can show you. Is this one here. So in year 2020 there was a limited mintage of 1,000 for this RCMP musical ride design. Really, it's a silver coin that's gold plated, but there is a 3D sculpture that sits on top of it. So let me just kind of zoom in here so you can actually see the detail. There is a lot of detail that's been reflected here. Short of the 3D sculpture, you could actually feel the horse. So it's not an optical illusion. It's an actual sculpture that sits on top of a coin. So you may start thinking like, is this still a coin if you have such a big sculpture that sits on top of it? But you know what? I don't think that's the point here. I think the point here is the technology, the engineering that kind of being put into manufacturing a coin like this. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of effort being put into it. The fact that they can have an RCMP on a horse on top of a silver coin, that is the feat. I don't think that you can find common from the mints around the world. So this one is definitely something special. So flipping back to the Cougar coin, this one is not a small coin by any means. It's weighted for 105, so 105.62 gram. So it's kind of topping at like 3 grams, a little bit more. So it is a big coin to have, and the diameter is 55 millimeters. That will give you a very good feel to hold in your hand. So it's too bad that I wasn't able to kind of get my hand on this, but I think if you have the ability to find connections, whether it's aftermarket through eBay or any other coin sites that you frequent, if you can get your hands on this, I think this is one of the coins that's probably worth your money to collect. So let's go through this in a bit more detail. Go back to the previous angle. I think this is the angle that people will stare at the most, just considering, oh my God, there's so much gap. There's so much space that sits between the background and the cutout. Tell me what you think about this coin in the comments below, because I've been very fascinated at this coin for the majority of the day when I got the notice. And again, I'm sort of kicking myself not being able to order one just in time for the release. I wonder if the silver itself is durable to hold in the hand. I may be cautious to myself, like not to press onto the Cougar if it's outside of the capsule. That's probably the only thing that I would think about. But it's probably not something that people would do anyways, taking out the capsule and holding it in their hand and start like pressing on it. Anyways, I think enough of this coin. I like it. I really, really like it. Hoping that I can get my hands on it. All right, so let's go back. Let's move on to the next coin. So the next coin that I want to go through is Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth's Lover's Knot Tiara. So there is another coin in this release here. So we have the silver coin, and we also have the 2-ounce gold coin with a lot less mintage available. It's the same theme about the Lover's Knot Tiara. The silver coin one is plated with rhodium to give that extra shine and depth and the color contrast in the crystals and the pearls. Something special about this, I believe it's I think co-designed with crystals from Swarovski. So if you're a big crystal fan from Swarovski, I think this may be a good coin to get. Let's take a quick look at the crystal itself. You can see that the plating on the coin, where it's a little bit darker, that's probably where the rhodium plating is coming in. Silver naturally is shinier than rhodium, so that a little bit darker silver to the rest of the coin gives that good contrast. And then you can see that there are crystals that are embedded on the coin itself, and then you have the pearls as well. So these are not painted on. So these are actual pearls and crystals. And then we have this around the edge of the rims as well. On the over side, we have Queen Elizabeth herself. It's actually 4 of her portraits through different era. She's been on a lot of coins for a really long time. So this coin has 4 portraits. Kind of remind me of a 5-ounce silver coin that was released recently. And let me flip over to that tab. So this one has 5 effigies on one single coin, but it covers many different effigies. It's not just Queen Elizabeth herself, but I feel like this is just a very good comparison to kind of look at. So going back to the coin itself, it's this 1-ounce pure silver coin. So Queen Mary, so just something interesting to kind of pass over to the audience is Queen Mary herself, which is the grandmother of Queen Elizabeth. She passed down a tiara, which is the Lover's Knot tiara, to Queen Elizabeth herself. Celebrate and so I think that was just one interesting fact to know. This silver coin was actually there to celebrate Queen Elizabeth's 95th birthday. So we know that number is getting bigger and bigger. Not to think too morbidly, the Queen herself is not going to live forever. So knowing that she is not going to be there forever, people may start thinking about, okay, so who's going to be on the over side of British colonies with their coins? So I think that's something to kind of think about. And then, so this is the silver coin that's rhodium plated. If we go back to the gold coin is actually platinum plated. So that's the biggest difference between the two. Obviously, a 2-ounce gold coin, material wise, is more expensive than the other. Rhodium plated, I mean the material for rhodium, that one's more expensive than platinum. So to each of his own, I guess they're trying to kind of balance out the material that they use. But I think the platinum plating gives it a bit more shine to the overall design. Again, this is also I think co-partnership in design with Swarovski with their crystals and the pearls. So same theme. They also have the 4 effigies at the back, all Queen Elizabeth herself, just from 4 different eras. So something that's worth noting. Let's take a look at the next coin. Let's start with this one. So this one is part of the subscription set, the Imposing Icon series. This is the 3rd coin in the series. It's the 2-ounce pure silver coin. Just because there is more materials in silver that's used for this coin, they're able to stretch it out a little bit more. So the diameter is 50 millimeters, which gives you more surface area for the artist to to create their artwork. It is a painted, so it's a colorized coin. The background is pure silver with no coloring, and the subject in the frame here is the white-tailed deer, and that's colorized. I think it gives it a very painting-like look to the coin. So I think that makes this coin special. The other two coins in the set before, I can't quite remember what they are, but from last time I checked, it is a low mintage series. Only 2,500 are made or to be made. I'm not sure if they pre-made all 2,500 at a time, or maybe they only made a certain amount of it, and until there's a demand for it, and they will make the rest. I'm not sure if that's the case, but mintage wise, it's definitely low. At the time of this video, 75% were already sold, so I think this one will go pretty fast. So consider subscribing if you want to get this coin set. So the fourth one hasn't been announced yet, so there's only 4 coins in this series. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. The next one is a 5-ounce pure silver coin called the Lost Then Found Champlain and the Astrolabe. So a mintage of 1,000. This one also sold out really quickly. I got an email from the Royal Canadian Mint halfway through March. It's kind of like a teaser email talking about this specific coin. Not a lot of details were given. We saw like a section of the coin. I was intrigued. I was interested, but again, by the time that I was notified and I saw the email, I got in here, it was already sold out. So I think it's my luck. Maybe I shouldn't work so hard on my day job, at least being able to kind of distract myself and look at this. So again, I will probably look it up somewhere else to see if I can get my hands on this. This is another coin I think that is pretty interesting. The coin itself, there is a lot of details on this coin. There is a map that was charted by Champlain himself. The map behind is the New France. So for those that doesn't know, the New France is the province of Quebec in Canada. I think at the bottom here we have the St. Lawrence River that goes into Montreal/Quebec, and just I'm not a big history buff, and I don't know a lot about Astrolabe. Essentially, it's a device that the mariner used back in the day to navigate themselves in around the water. And the interesting thing about this design here is the Astrolabe that sits in the middle of the coin. And I'm kind of curious myself too. I don't know, they didn't really mention anything about this in the description below. The Astrolabe itself, I know it's plated with not copper, it's plated in bronze, so it gives that rusted look on the top of the coin. I'm interested to know if this thing actually moves. Think of it like a compass. The needle may flip back and forth, maybe not. Maybe these are all static and fixed. I know that Royal Canadian Mint had coins in the past that can actually move around. So they have like moving objects on the coin that is designed to move around. So I'm curious to know if this is fixed or actually move around. Interested to know that. But looking at the details of the map, the details are really intricate. You can see the writings on it. So I guess whoever gets this coin, get yourself a good magnifying glass. There is probably a lot of detail for you to explore on this coin. I mean, look at the scale that runs around the rim of the coin. Super sharp. The pictures and the subjects, the ships on this coin, there is just so much detail. Oh, considering that it's a 5-ounce silver coin, so there's also a lot of real estate that's on the surface for the artist to work on. Similar to the 5-ounce silver coin that I just showed you on a different tab with the 5 effigies on the over side. It's the same concept. Big surface area just means that there's going to be a lot more room for the designer to put their artwork on. So yeah, I think this is a pretty neat coin to have. Let's take a quick look at the overside. I'm always curious about the overside, not necessarily for the effigy herself, but just, you know, what kind of design did they carry from the reverse side onto the overside. So you can kind of see here the background behind Queen Elizabeth's head. There's a lot of lines being drawn, possibly the path. I was going to say the path where the ship have traveled on the map, but I'm probably mistaking that. Not sure what these lines represent, but you know what? It looks pretty darn cool. All right, let's move on. Okay, the last coin on this video, I'm going to go through not a gold coin, not a silver coin, but this time around it's actually a platinum coin. So it's a 1-ounce platinum coin, a tribute to the maple tree, with the mintage of only 300. Platinum, the material itself, isn't as expensive as a gold coin, so the fact that they're using a pure platinum coin is something special. It's not something that the Royal Canadian release often. In my last video that I released not too long ago, I went through the Bullion's silver coin for maple leaves, and then there's 2 of them, and then one of the last coin in that video, I showcased the Masters Club tribute to the maple leaves as well. That coin is a silver coin that was gold plated. This one here is a platinum coin that are gold plated. So it's an interesting design as well. The leaves on this coin is the big leaf maple. It's commonly found on the west coast of Canada. It's, you know, just an interesting fact to share if you guys are curious. So there are 3 big maple leaves in the center of the coin. The one right in the center of it is yellow gold plated. The one to the side here is pink gold plated. The one to the very right hand side here, it's just a bare platinum material, so there's no plating on that. The preview mark for 25 is just the 25th year anniversary for recognizing that the arboreal emblem of Canada is the maple trees. So 25 years ago, Canada officialized the maple tree, the Acer genus, as the official national arboreal emblem. So another interesting fact, so 1996 was the year that we officialized it, so that marks that 25-year anniversary. Platinum, 1 ounce, made in Canada, obviously. The rim is plated the same color as the rose gold, or the pink gold, rose gold. And so it has this really pinkish look to it. I suspect that this is a digitized version of the coin. When you actually have this coin in your hand, it's not gonna look this pink. And you know, the overside of the queen's head is also rose gold plated as well. I don't know, it looks really, really odd to me. The reverse side looks amazing. I think this is a very, very good design. You know, we're looking at the 3 different colors of the maple leaves, almost signifying the different season that we go through in a year. So the color of the maple leaves do change through the seasons. So I think that's a very nice touch to it. But having Queen Effigy herself plated in rose gold, I don't know, it looks funky. The background It's not very reflective, and then we have the pink face. Yeah, just a bit odd. Just my own opinion. Don't look too far into it. Yeah, so this is the last coin that I'm gonna go through. For I think it's difficult to get a 99.99% pure platinum on any coin. So even with the bullion grade, the best you can have is like 99.95% as well. So I think, from a composition perspective, it looks just fine. So this picture down here probably truly depict what the color is. So it's not as pink on the rim. So this one looks good. The rose gold plating on the left hand side, and gold plating right in the center. It doesn't really have that pinkish look to it. So I think this one, under the right lighting, it'll look amazing. I think it's just that the digitized photo that we have here doesn't really do itself justice. Again, that's just my opinion. Take it and leave it. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you like videos like this, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about all the new coins that are coming out for the month of April. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.